Hi everybody, Mischa here with Word of the Day, and there it is, Ultracrepidarian. Oh, I know, there's a mouthful, huh? What does it mean? Well, whether you use it as an adjective or a noun, Ultracrepidarian refers to a person who is very ready to give you their opinion, their judgment, their criticism, in an area that is not their area of expertise or knowledge. A know-it-all, right? Okay, now, where does it come from? It comes from Latin, meaning beyond the sandal. You know there's a story there, right? Here it is. Back in the day, Pliny the Elder, that we're talking about, I don't know, 50 AD. He was a Roman naturalist and scholar, but he in his writings related this ancient Greek myth about an artist and a sandal maker. Okay, so here's the story. The sandal maker is looking at a painting by this artist of somebody who's wearing sandals, and the sandal maker criticizes the painting of the sandals, and the artist doesn't say anything because he figures, well, he's a sandal maker, so I guess he knows. But when the sandal maker goes on to start to criticize the rest of the painting, the artist stops him and says, that is beyond the sandal. You don't get an opinion here. You don't know anything. Isn't that great? Okay, so when does Ultracrepidarian come into English? 1816 in the essays of William Hazlitt. William Hazlitt was a man of the Romantic period. He was a philosopher, he was an essayist, he was a social critic, as I said, an intense romantic, but also a political radical. And when I say that he was a contemporary of Byron, Shelley, Keats, Coleridge, Wordsworth, Lamb, I don't mean that he lived at the same time. He did, but he knew all of these men. He knew them all. But he himself was more really politically radical. Anyhow, he wrote an essay in which he criticized ultracrepidarians for shooting their mouths off about things they didn't know or understand. So, in honor of Mr. Hazlitt and Mr. Pliny the Elder, let's have a couple sentences here on how to use this word. Here's the first one. The reason for this big surge in the word ultracrepidarian is because of the massive amount of misinformation and disinformation online and the difficulty we have in figuring out who is a real expert and who is an ultracrepidarian. Or how about this? According to the Dunning-Kruger phenomenon, it is something that we humans all do, where we'll get a little information, we'll watch a couple documentaries, read a few books, maybe take a college class in something, and we think that we know a lot more than we actually do. And we start becoming a know-it-all and becoming an ultracrepidarian. And finally, this is my personal one. When I was a sophomore in high school, I knew everything. But I've lived long enough, and I'm very grateful for it, to realize that no, I was just an ultracrepidarian. And like I say, life teaches you. You gotta be willing to learn. I stole that from a friend of mine. Okay, now use the word, put it in the comments, and I'll see you later. Don't forget, you guys, if we're going to buy books, let's do our darndest to buy from independent booksellers. We don't need the big boys anymore. So, if you're interested in things like, Pliny the Elder, read a book like this, Plutarch's Lives. Is this part 1 or 2? This is volume 2. This is volume 1. Plutarch's Lives is filled with the most amazing information. Did you know that after they executed the Emperor Galba, they used his head to play basketball with? There's some good stuff in there. Okay, if you're going to buy from independent booksellers, go to, click on the link above or below, and go to bookshop.org/shop/word of the day. Good reading, and I'll see you later.